Welcome to Chortle Games Live. My name is Steven. And this is Forward Compatible Part 4. We're playing Assassin's Creed Unity. Having a wonderful time. Pretty sure I've been wearing something different every single stream. That's one of the things I like about this game. There's a lot of gear progression that is meaningful. Like, when you find a piece that you really like, you can kind of take it with you. In a sense, because it does, like, themed wardrobe more so. Rather than, like, individual pieces. 1 second. I'm letting Discord know I'm live. Alright. I hope that was the right link. I think I copied the one that's live right now. Cool. That says it's right, so we're going to say it's right. Alright. So we've got a lot of ground to cover on this game. I've been playing it a lot off stream, just doing side content, trying to... Hey, Monty. Trying to make sure I upgrade the cafe so I can earn money so that I can make sure that by the end of this stream I've got my loadout that I want. Speaking of which... Oh, still 2 minutes. Okay. And I think I've decided that the way they did rifles in this game makes it where there's no point in using a rifle.
I said I want all the money you've got.
Keep the change. Was that cool? Was that cool, guys? No. They all left. Okay, so it's not that far. I just need to go north. Got it. I have been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed lately. Not one bit, Monty. There's the chest up there. Got it. So what have you been up to, Monty? I know that you joined us for... I think it was the last Unity stream, but it had been a while since then. Or since the time you joined before that, so... Catch me up. What's going on? I'm not good at the lockpicking in this game. And that's the trick to success. You just keep dissing yourself till you achieve your goals. That's my life motto. What a terrible motto. Hello. That guy just called me Arno. He knows my name. Interesting, Kalen. I don't know why that is. Hopefully it'll fix. So, Kalen, I was wanting to discuss my gripes with Odyssey with you at some point. I got you, Monty. Yeah, I found a lot of joy in single-player games again since all this started. Whether that's good or bad, I can't say, because I actually have been more busy with quarantine starting than I am out of quarantine, because the nature of my job kind of demands a lot of stuff when people can't meet in the building. But that's not what I meant to do. But yeah, I wanted to discuss some of my problems with Odyssey. So, like I said, I'm enjoying it a lot more than I was at start. At the start, for the probably first 4 hours, I hated it. I hated it so much. But now that I'm further into it, I'm enjoying it, kind of like you said, as an RPG. Nothing more. But So okay, so Kalen, I'll let you finish your explanation because the dialogue options even existing, to me, is one of the biggest flaws in the game. Depending on what kind of Assassin's Creed fan you are. I just, hey, Inferior, glad you're here. I just don't think it was executed well, and the fact that it exists in the first place is a mistake. Oh, these guys are real low level. Ooh. Yep, I am Spears and Pistol now. That is my loadout. Because the rifle is just, as far as I can tell, not any better than the pistol as a range option. But the rifle also misses out on a lot of melee capability. Monty, it is worth the play as an RPG, depending on what kind of RPG you're looking for. Odyssey is basically a run-of-the-mill RPG set in the Peloponnesian War, so ancient Greece. For an RPG, just for a run-of-the-mill RPG, it does have pretty good stealth. It's got Assassin's Creed Light stealth, basically. So if you're just looking for an open-world RPG with, of course, loot rarity and level grinding, because it's a Ubisoft game and that's all they do now, I would say it's worth the play. But if you really like Greek mythology, as far as I can tell, it's just gonna piss you off. Because I haven't really gotten to any of that yet, where they start doing the Greek mythology stuff. But I'm pretty sure they're gonna just make it to where they're all the precursors. So like Zeus, Poseidon, Athena, all of them were just futuristic aliens that predated humans. You're exactly right, Kalen. And after this cutscene, I will expound on that.
Well, that's not suspicious, is it?
Okay, cool. So, the reason Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Kalen put very well why it's one of the biggest flaws, because you've got Witcher, which you are playing as Geralt. It is an RPG in the sense of you are playing the role of Geralt of Rivia, the Witcher. And then you've got Skyrim, which is you are playing an insert for yourself. You shape the role that you are. And the story is more about the adventure itself rather than what your character goes through, because your character has no personality to bring to the story. And Odyssey tries to be both of those. And the reason that's a problem, one, it doesn't really work to begin with, because if you try to have a preset character that is also acting as an insert for the player that has... basically the player can shape the kind of person that the preset character is, then that character doesn't have the chance to have a lot of depth, because the writing is fluid. Fluid writing can be a good thing if it's a game like XCOM or Skyrim that wants a lot of the memorable stuff to be in what the individual player experienced. But in a game like this, it needs to be set characters. Wow, congrats, Kalen. And I agree with that. But Assassin's Creed, its strongest storytelling, in my opinion, has been when it's been basically making fictional history, is the way I put it. Arno Victor Dorian is a character that goes through specific beats. We know what part of history he lived, we know what role he played in history, and we know what he did. The moment you put optional dialogue in a game that is Assassin's Creed, which literally Assassin's Creed is us playing history. If we're playing memories of our ancestors, basically, or history, and we are given the option to shape that, that makes absolutely no sense, because then what's canon? So, if we are left with, like, really big options, such as, was this Alexios' story or Cassandra's story? That's a really big difference. So, how are we supposed to... Oh, crap. How are we supposed to appreciate their story or know, looking back, without looking up what a GameSpot article says which one's canon? How are we supposed to know that as the player? And how are our choices supposed to make an impact if they don't make an impact for the story as a whole? It doesn't make sense. There should not be branching dialogue or branching story really at all in an Assassin's Creed game as far as the past segments are concerned. Also, the future segments in Odyssey, garbage. They may as well, I'm sorry, the present segments, they may as well not even exist. It was an afterthought. And that brings me to my point that I kind of realized today. Every single time I found something that I like, oh, and why aliens? Because that's what Assassin's Creed does. They made it to where, basically, humans were created by something called the Isu, or the precursors, or something like that. And it was a whole thing. It was the moment that the future, the story in the present, the modern day segments, as people call them, those really started to lose me at the end of Brotherhood, when they doubled down on the Isu. But whatever. Assassin's Creed, the story has thrived, in my opinion, when we can really attach to these individual characters. The assassins specifically. Because we know the kind of person Ezio was. We know the kind of person that Connor was.
Silversmith.
And we remember them fondly as characters rather than just skin suits that we, the player, wear.
First, I need to know about this.
Because it made it where, in the past, Assassin's Creed was kind of a really cool meta game.
No. They'll be watching the front entrance.
Where the game we were playing, like right now, in Unity, I am playing as a faceless character in modern day who is playing Arno's memories. For a reason, because they're trying to see where Arno collided with a sage. So it's kind of this meta deal where I'm playing a game within a game. And it was always really interesting. And being able to go back and quote-unquote experience history with some fictional twists that still came off as like conspiracy theory kind of stuff, but it was like people shaping historical events rather than, oh, humanity came from the Isu. Like, before it got into all that nonsense, the story was really interesting because it was taking really creative ideas and playing with history. Honestly, Kalen, I hate all of the writing in the game. I hate all of it. And maybe that's not fair of me, but I have cringed at almost all of the dialogue. And people that say that Cassandra's dialogue and voice acting is better, they're wrong. They're both bad. Alexios and Cassandra are equally bad. The dialogue, like, the story is there. I've been impressed with how much content there is in the story, but the story itself has just been predictable. And just forced. Like, I texted, it honestly could have been, because, like, the modern day segment is just there because it has to be. There was a point in time when modern day segment mattered, where Desmond's story was moving forward, and I equally looked forward to playing as Ezio as I did hopping out of the Animus and seeing what else was going on in Desmond's side. but that's gone because, and this brings me to my next point, every single time I found something that I like and that I dislike about Odyssey, I have come to the conclusion that it would have been better or fixed if it just wasn't an Assassin's Creed game. And that's what a lot of people probably say, but I'm really feeling it now. Because, what was the example I used? Let me pull up the text that I sent Jake and Brody. I mean, it is better, Kalen, but I just haven't liked any of it. So, the leaning on mythology, this is what I was saying. The leaning on mythology in new Assassin's Creed, like ever since Origins,
This way.
has been one of the reasons the writing feels off to me. Because, like I said, it stops being about shaping historical events, and it's more about shaping the concept of history itself and the origin of humanity and blah, 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 blah. Let me try to lockpick this. Because we had Origins, which I haven't played. The only new Assassin's Creed I've played, ever since they turned it into a by-the-numbers Ubisoft RPG, is Odyssey. But I assume Origins deals with mythological creatures and Egyptian mythology. Just like with Odyssey, it's a lot about Greek mythology and their gods and everything, but it just, I assume, is going to turn into, oh, it was actually aliens from space.
Wait here.
Or aliens from before, whatever. And then they're going to continue that trend probably with Valhalla, using Norse mythology and being like, oh, this is actually what Odin was. And that's dumb. Because, can you imagine if Ubisoft really wanted to do... I haven't fought any of the Mythic Beasts, Kalen, but I assumed that we were going to get something like that. Can you imagine if Ubisoft had been like, let's take a break from Assassin's Creed and give it kind of the Splinter Cell treatment, where they come back when they have a vision for it, and then they do a mythology series or just a standalone mythology game, which one could argue that Odyssey is testing the waters for gods and monsters, which we don't really know much about. Honestly, Monty, they'll probably do that. But I'm honestly kind of leaning towards people are going to think that we're Odin in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which
Just how important
would
are you as a prisoner?
be a better twist than it could be. But anyway, imagine how awesome it would have been if Ubisoft had said, we don't need Assassin's Creed right now, we're not giving up on it, but we don't need it. Just because we want to make an RPG doesn't mean we have to make it Assassin's Creed. Then Assassin's Creed could have taken the break it needed to actually come back as Assassin's Creed, and they could have taken this mythology RPG and really committed to the idea of mythology. Make it to where Zeus, Poseidon, and the whole Greek pantheon, make it to where you embrace their myth. You don't try to spin it into the AC lore. What if the progression in Odyssey had been something more akin to Hades, where you could progress in the different blessings of the gods? If you do stuff for Zeus, or commit to Zeus gear or whatever, something like that, you do lightning bolts and stuff like that. Something like that would be really neat. And one could argue that's too similar to God of War. I disagree. Greek mythology, embraced to its fullest, is not immediately just God of War. God of War is a different kind of embracing mythology. That just would have been so cool, and they could have done that with different mythologies, and they could have just made it a new original story that has nothing to do with Assassin's Creed, and then I wouldn't be over here feeling like crying because Unity, which is a fantastic game in my opinion, that
Change of plans.
it has its problems, but good lord, it was a very, very good foundation for where Assassin's Creed could have gone. And now we'll never get that because Ubisoft won't just let their IPs be what they're supposed to be. They use them as stepping stools for money.
Come, we must go.
Yes, of course.
Kalen is an alien. Kalen, is that the big twist at the end of Odyssey, that you are an Isu that created humans? Oh, hold on, sir. Yeah, that's honestly what I expected them to do. Kalen, was make it to where these creatures existed, but the Isu made them. And that's my thing. They could have made like a straight up Greek mythology game where you fight those mythical creatures, you work for or with or against the gods, and make them actually mythical creatures and gods, demigods, whatever. That would have been so cool. And that would have been more unique.
Return the favor.
Yes, of course.
But Ubisoft does everything so bland these days. They found
Private contract.
one means and they're sticking to it,
That seemed an unusual.
and they're making everything that.
I confess curiosity got the better of me. Recently, I started to look into the Frenier's background, and what I discovered, you wouldn't believe it.
He's a Templar. Is that what you found?
Yes, I believe so. I didn't know how to take it. In any case, I was careless. The Frenier found out about my schemes. Kept me under house arrest ever since. I do as he bids. Weapons mostly.
Where can I find him?
That's pretty good, Kalen.
Well, Frenier is a very difficult
It
man.
took me a minute.
Not long ago, I overheard him talking about protecting the shipments at La Loublé. Sounded ominous, whatever he meant. Now I ask, why are you so interested in him?
He killed someone very dear to me. I want to know why.
I see. You have my sympathies.
They will come looking for you again. Make yourself scarce.
Yes, I believe I might.
Sweet. Ooh, that transition. But it's honestly at the point to where it's become a real downer to be a Ubisoft fan, for me anyway. Monty, I'll answer that question in a second. Because I still love a lot of Ubisoft IPs. I'm still a huge Tom Clancy fan. I love what Assassin's Creed was. I love what Far Cry was. And I'm probably forgetting a few. But that's the thing. I love what they were. Because they all sold out. To become what Ubisoft thinks people want them to be. And the problem is, people aren't seeing that. People aren't seeing that they're just getting the same game over and over again. Because if you look at top 15 or whatever best Assassin's Creed games, Odyssey is at number 1. Probably most of the time. I read one the other day, and Unity was surprisingly in the top, I think it was number 6 or 7 or something. But Odyssey's number 1. Because people are just like, that was a pretty fun RPG that I played a lot of. But here's the thing. I'd be willing to bet that a lot of these Ubisoft games, they're looking at the metrics for launch, because that's all they really need to look at. But once... Oof. I'll go ahead and answer that question, Monty. I thought the Valhalla trailer was very by-the-numbers Assassin's Creed as far as the trailer's concerned. But that's not a compliment, because some of the samey things about Assassin's Creed aren't great. And really, Ubisoft does this in general, where their trailers all feel like the same. I thought it was cool, it looked pretty and everything, but we've seen the lone warrior in the middle of a battle surprise the audience with a hidden blade how many times now? Which I guess, to its credit, that's the most Assassin's Creed that Assassin's Creed has felt since Odyssey was announced. So there's that. But, yeah, I feel like people are playing Ubisoft games, like these new Ubisoft games a lot, but they're not staying on these games a lot. Because I bet if you were to look at some of the metrics of time played or number of players that got to a certain point, with Ubisoft games especially, I bet there was a lot of drop-off at a certain point. Because they play these games for a while because it's got a fun initial loop, but they get old fast because you've played it already in every other Ubisoft game. The consumer is going to get bored eventually, and I don't know if Ubisoft is banking on that. Because they used to be challenging. Well, they used to, like, you know, challenge their genres. Far Cry 3 was a huge deal when it came out. Skyrim with guns and all that stuff. Assassin's Creed was one of the mainstays of the action RPG genre. Tom Clancy games were the name of the face of, like, tactical shooters. And now they're all just looter shooters or looter RPGs that lost all of the DNA that made them what they were initially. And that sucks. Yeah, I cringed really hard at the Hidden Blade as well. It was just like, it was so pandering. So, ultimately, I'm torn about Valhalla because
That is a
I would probably
large number of guns. Lafreniere is planning something big.
I would probably really enjoy Valhalla. But I feel like I would be doing the wrong thing if I purchased it. Which I didn't purchase Odyssey, thank goodness. I've got Uplay Plus when it was with the discounted month. But I would feel like I was being part of the problem if I bought Valhalla, because I'm very much against calling that Assassin's Creed. Or at least if it's going to be like Odyssey. I have yet to see gameplay, so I've yet to pass judgment. Fact is, it's not Assassin's Creed. And I feel dirty even calling Odyssey an Assassin's Creed game, because it's just not. Like, gameplay-wise, it's not. Narratively, it's definitely not. And that's honestly the biggest stab in the back is the narrative. I thought the gameplay would bother me more than the story would, but the story's the biggest problem. I'll probably just get it on PC, since I've got Uplay. That way I don't have to pay for it. Oh, pistol kills. What am I doing? This is a really good pistol. See, Jake said the same thing about that Monty. And it's funny, because my reaction was, and you're right, if it didn't have the hidden blade, you would just be like, wait, is this for honor, or what? But I knew within like 3 seconds that it was a Assassin's Creed game, just because I have seen that exact same trailer before with like 3 or 4 different Assassin's Creed games, and it screamed Assassin's Creed from a mile away from me. But I'm not everyone, obviously. That sounded kind of douchey, but I just noticed those kinds of things. It just showed its hand really early for me. That's funny, Kaylin. I'm just annoyed guys, with the state of Assassin's Creed, because I'm enjoying Odyssey, and I wish it was a terrible game. I really do. It's not. It's a terrible Assassin's Creed game, and because of it, I mean, I would rather have... I would rather have a game that launched like Unity over a game that, like Odyssey any day. Because Unity, at least, took the things that made Assassin's Creed, and it tried to push them forward. Sure, it was a crappy launch, but at least it committed to its identity. I don't care if Odyssey was a perfect launch with 0 bugs, and it is technically very impressive.
It hardly seems safe.
I don't care if it was the most perfect launch ever. I would rather a game release and be fixed a few months later, as long as it meant that it would continue to expound on those and do it better the next time.
Nom de Dieu! The powder stores! They're going to blow!
No, of course it can't be that easy, can it?
Oh. Ooh. I see, I see. Come on. And moments like this, I miss from Assassin's Creed, because Assassin's Creed has always been a very cinematic game, and I don't feel that from Odyssey at all, because it tries to be too freeform. I completely agree, Caleb. Well said. Just because two things are good on their own doesn't mean they're good together. I see now. Okay. Gosh, I'm ashamed of myself. I even looked right at it. Holy crap. I apologize to anyone who is watching this.
Hide in plain sight. Right.
Who hasn't heard me talk before, who was just hoping for a good Assassin's Creed stream. I'm a very opinionated person, and with all the social distancing and everything, and without a podcast this week, I haven't been able to voice my opinions, so you guys are getting a lot of that. Just in case I haven't done this one already. Pretty sure I have, because it had a fast travel option. I probably should be paying more attention to the actual story, because I've been talking so much about Odyssey and why it's a terrible Assassin's Creed game that I haven't been paying attention to the good Assassin's Creed game that I'm currently playing. Whoa. Oh my gosh, I see what I'm doing now. I'm still on Odyssey controls. I've been healing every time I've been trying to counter. And that is going to get me killed. I have no medicine left because I keep making that mistake. I agree, Kaylin. I don't know if I can say I love it yet, just because I have a hard time separating myself from that gripe. But I am really enjoying it. It's fun. Need to make sure I reload next time. Yep, still completely out of medicine because I wasn't paying attention. I'm up for the challenge.
Where do you think you're going,
I recommend trying out Odyssey if you've already paid the money for it. You definitely need to finish Spider-Man. That's still one of my favorite games. I think the mercenary system's cool. It'd be a lot cooler if it wasn't a blatant ripoff of Shadow of Mordor. Again, I have a hard time separating my opinions. I would like it a lot better if I had never played Shadow of Mordor, because since I have, it just feels like Ubisoft really trying to utilize the thing that worked there and forcing it in whether it fits or not. And yes, they are loot pinatas. Yeah. Yeah, just fair warning, Monty, it's a very slow start. You don't actually really get into the gameplay until, like, probably 5 hours. And if you just bum rush the beginning and don't do a lot of forts and stuff like I did, you could probably cut that time down a good bit. But the title card, apparently, I didn't do the time for myself, but the title card, people have said, doesn't happen until 3 hours in. But that's actually pretty normal for a lot of Assassin's Creed games. But I think 3 kind of set the standard for that. Honestly, the pawn system is so underutilized that I don't mind it. I think it's a cool idea. I don't know. Again, I'm just going to have to see how it's executed. But I do think it's a neat idea.
You'll be reinforced before the master arrives. We'll post snipers on the roofs. The instructions are all here. Get to it.
Think we should go with them?
The Master's elite bodyguards? I think they can handle it.
Suppose you're right.
I'm about to go
I better
boot
find
Flynn on
myself
the
a
nose
place to
pretty
wait
hard.
before the rest of them arrive.
He's driving Anna nuts in the other room. So there's an alarm bell there and there. Is that it?
What's going on?
A few of the groundskeepers heard more than they should. They're hiding in the catacombs.
So the Master's bodyguards have to dig them out. Seems excessive. They're best instead by the time the Master arrives. Don't want him vulnerable.
I am actually going to disable all the alarms if I can. Trying to remember what exactly the twist before the title card was. See, this kind of stuff you don't get in Odyssey. I really hate that. Oh. Yeah, that was a good twist. That was well handled.
This shows exactly where Lafreniere will be every step of the way. They couldn't have made it easier if they'd tried. Got you now.
I love the Phantom Blade. It's one of my favorite inclusions to the Assassin Arsenal, just ever. Also, that might be my favorite assassination kill, where you slide and knock their feet out from under them. It's just super cool.
Enough! I'll have your ears strung together! Now!
Hey, execute anyone for the crime of being seen in public with a
I'll
purse
settle this
today,
soon
bro.
as I'm here, my friend.
What's going on?
Just the right time. I'll gather up the
Nothing well placed here.
Cover your escape if you need it.
What's happening?
Good, I'm full on medicine.
Did you squeeze the wrong shopkeeper? Spank the wrong nun?
Wait in a haystack. Could wait here.
I love it when the target comes to me.
Don't waste what, Monty?
Hold him away, citizen! Why? I only want to cave your bloody head in!
This guy looks kind of like Al-Mualim.
The truth is in peril, my brothers. She is beset
Oh,
all
yeah.
quarters. Jacobins lay her on the
So,
rack, cruelly
E
freaking
is
her to the
parry
populist
in
agenda.
this game. In Odyssey, it's Q.
False prophets go among the people promising liberty, equality, fraternity. Bastards! Within our own order, false brothers would see us abandon her and throw in with the very forces we strive against. And always, always the assassins lurk in their shadows, watching for signs of weakness. Traitors! Our enemies believe that by taking our weapons, they take our power. I think the friends of truth are not so easily dissuaded. Union, strength, virtue. Ready yourselves, brothers. Tonight, the truth is on our side. Huzzah!
So, my thought is the gold footprints are his footprints. And that his path is gonna collide with mine, but I could be completely wrong about that. So we're just gonna wait and see what happens.
Is all in readiness?
Where is he? The men know their duties. The bastards won't escape us tonight.
Good. The enemy has thwarted us for the last time.
As you say, Master.
I just really want to get him and put him in this thing. Yes, step into my web. No, wrong way. That's away from my web.
I trust the payment was received.
Of course, but
You have done a great service to both France and the Order. We will not forget.
The Austrian Rite is always loyal to the true Templar order.
Yes. Come a little closer.
Then rise, my brother. And be welcome.
You don't trust the man, do you?
Mirabeau is a good man, an honest man.
Mirabeau is a self-aggrandizing drunk.
Do not forget who is Grand Master here, Lafreniere.
Take this to Grand Master de la Serre immediately. Deliver it to him in person.
Yes, Master. Master, we have a problem. Christoph has been feeding information to our enemies.
How's
Mr.
audio, by the way?
Schuman's location is compromised.
We'll have to move up our timetable. Gather the men. We strike Hotel de Beauvais tonight.
If you can use a PC Viking on PlayStation, then yes, Kalen, by all means. Ooh, I'm an elite enforcer. So am I just supposed to blend with you guys? Is that what you are?
Yeah. Everything all right, my friend?
Okay. Ooh. Wasn't the cleanest of getaways, but... No, don't kill him! That's dumb. Get him. Get him.
Initiate Bishop here. You're in good shape so far. I'd like to give you a little boost. We've made a major breakthrough on our side. Through deep data analysis, we've discovered that the sage we're looking for was a Templar Grandmaster, the same man Arnaud was hunting. It doesn't get much better than that. There, everything's been updated. Use them wisely.
Go.
We'll be in touch.
New abilities are unlocked. Oh, nice. I like that. So I'm definitely not getting rid of the assassin cache. It's too good. Alright, I guess I'm saving the rest of my points. Unless... I do really need more health. I don't think I got credit for that criminal I killed. Oh, I did. Nice.
Turn out today.
I actually got a good bit more money than I thought I did. So I think it's the Prowler belt. That's the one that I want. Because it gives additional medicine, stun grenades, poison gas, and ammunition, which is everything that I want. Because I never use the cherry bombs. I use the smoke bombs, but I think that'll still leave me with like 4 smoke bombs. And since I have the cash, let's hope I don't need that many smoke bombs in such a short amount of time. I like him, Kalen. Makes me feel like I'm Batman of the French Revolution.
400 armed noblemen, Honoré? If it weren't for General Lafayette...
Enough! The room is fogged with your bluster! All hot air and no action! Here's a man with good news, I think. What did you learn from the silversmith?
He smiths silver. My God.
Poison. They're catching up. Germain made that pin, and others like it, for a man named Lafreniere.
Sure.
Certain.
Grandmaster de la Serre spoke highly of his loyalty. Very well. I suppose the course is clear, Arnaud. Find Monsieur Lafreniere.
I have done so already, monsieur. He is no threat.
What are you saying, Pisspon?
I had a lead on Lafreniere. I followed it, and I killed him.
What the hell were you thinking? How dare you defy the creed? Next time you circumvent the council,
I'll
ring you a new arsehole!
While this council admires your zeal, it is not your place to choose your own targets. You should have reported your findings to us.
Forgive me, Mentor. I believed I had found the man who ordered Monsieur de la Serre's murder. When I discovered further evidence that suggested he was about to strike at the Brotherhood in force, I took action.
Believed? Suggested?
I am no longer certain of Lafreniere's motivations. In his memories, I saw him writing the letter that would have warned Monsieur de la Serre of his betrayal. When he spoke of his impending attack, he mentioned a club in the Marais, not one of our safe houses.
What do you make of this?
I cannot say. I would like to investigate further.
I don't like this. The boy is a gifted assassin, but I fear he's obsessed with a private vendetta. Let another follow this lead.
We don't have time. Whatever Lafreniere was planning, it happens tonight.
He did ask permission this time, Guillaume. Go then. See what you can learn. But no more rash action.
Yes, Mentor.
Yes, I have, Kalen, and I really like them. So I think something that I like about Arno, or at least the way they portray him, through the activities in the game and how a lot of this game is kind of a mystery. I like how Arno's kind of a detective. Gives him a cool little skill set that we haven't really seen in the other assassins.
Hello, my friend.
Alright, I definitely need some Phantom Blades. I'm always running out of Phantom Blades.
I have a mission for you.
No time. I probably should do some more co-op missions with RZ. I think he's playing Siege right now, though. I did it again. Oh, that was pretty cool. I use a ton of berserk darts. especially in Rogue. That's like all I use is the Berserk darts on the rifle. But in this game, I use those specifically for when I'm outnumbered and as a distraction. I don't use them for individual kills. But the loadout I'm going for gives me maximum ammunition, like bullets, maximum phantom blades, berserk blades, and a lot of poison bombs and stun grenades. So basically very gadgety, expecting combat. But plenty of ability to avoid combat is what I'm going for.
This is the place. What was Lafrenière so interested in?
Get him upstairs, quickly.
Latouche, old friend.
Latouche is more like.
You do get about, don't you?
Yeah, I've noticed that. I'm hoping that I can get the same effect from stun grenades, because my impression of them has been that smoke grenades are for escape, stun grenades are for basically, well, attacking. Oh, no loot? Okay. Those were fun days. The game needed to evolve to the system that Arno uses, but the Ezio counter kill days were a ton of fun. Wrong gun. Had to go for the longest kill animation, didn't you, Arno? This game does not do well in tight quarters such as this. And that is why I prioritize getting a good pistol. There is, Kalen. Spacebar is dodge. You have to time it right to dodge gunfire, but it is something that you can do. But they did make gunfire too powerful in this game. Also, this is not the way I intended for this mission to go, but here we are. Well, I don't know what it would be for, probably be X for PlayStation. Whatever the button to jump is, that's the dodge button in combat. Guess I missed my opportunity to get that one. Oh, that poor guy down there. Alright, so we're just going to back out of that one real quick, and we're going to... Alright, we'll try it. That was not even close. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm very glad that the assassin cache gives lockpicks. Makes it where I don't really have to worry about carrying lockpicks. Which means I can just carry more ammo. I think it's the belt that gives you lockpicks. And that's too valuable for grenades and bullets.
Caligula, condemned to death those who were so sacrilegious as to undress before the image of the emperor. Once tyranny invented the craft of injured majesty, which were actions either indifferent or heroic.
How much longer must we wait? I do have other business to tend to.
Nah, I'm not PC Master Race. I will never believe... Well, I say never. I never have believed that. There may come a day where PC is the way to go because of a shift, but right now there is plenty of reason to play console games. What the... Thank God for my reflexes.
That seems convenient.
That's the thing about assassins. Point them at a Templar conspiracy and they ask no questions. Go right for the kill. Predictable that way. Come, we'll fetch the captain and get started.
Oh, are they coming upstairs? Good. Wait. Oh, they're totally coming upstairs. Up. Don't worry about it. Go back in, go back in. There we go. That guy's sword is sheathed upside down. You notice that? Am I crazy? Oh, there it goes. Okay. I'm not crazy. Clip that, Kaylin, please.
So why not skip the end game and go directly to me? Tell me where it is, and all this can be over. What was that? You're a smart man.
Roy, clean up your mess. It's time.
Be right there. You heard the weasel, boys?
Dang. maybe? Come on.
The great work requires patience, my friend. If Paris must suffer a while longer so the world might be remade, then so be it.
Why not just kill him and be done with it? One of my boys, a knife, a dark hallway. Easy peasy.
We want a condemned man, Captain, not a martyr. Have patience.
Respectfully, Grandmaster, patience is well and fine. But the longer we wait, the greater the chance of discovery.
Well, the assassins already found Siver and Wadetun.
Oh, Siver and Leroy already served their purpose. Their destruction, while inconvenient, is no obstacle. And the assassins have already proved useful when properly led.
What about the Delasur brat? She could be dangerous if she manages to rally the old guard.
That situation will be resolved.
How so?
Mademoiselle de la Serre will soon be on her way to l'Hôtel Voisin, eager to speak with Monsieur Lafreniere. Sadly, Monsieur Lafreniere has nothing left to say.
Please.
Clever, Grandmaster. But you've had your brush with the assassins as well. Respectfully, you won't all.
And this is the perfect moment for a Berserk Blade.
Very well. May the Father of Understanding be guided. Go on.
And that could not have gone better. No witnesses. Back the way I came. Maybe not the best idea.
Seems we have a spy, boys.
Find the spy.
Gosh, Eagle Vision is so useful in this game. Come on. I've got the ability, because of the hood that I'm going to be running, well, the hood that I've got is pretty good, but the master or legendary military hood's the one I'm going to be going for. It helps with the assassin cache and the Eagle Vision, and I forgot how invaluable Eagle Vision is in this game. Since it actually has a cooldown, it isn't just this thing you can always have on. And I liked that change. But I've got the ability that makes it to where partners can see my Eagle Vision. So it makes it to where other players that play missions with me won't even need to use Eagle Vision, basically. Oof.
No spies escaping on my watch.
Oh yeah. That's not what I wanted to do.
No spies escaping on my watch. That's odd.
Whatever. Oof.
Watch the exits. The spy will be making a run for it. Here you are.
Come on. That could have gone better. That's kind of my MO. Dang. That's pretty crazy, Kalen. I didn't know about that item. Okay. Where's the next mission? Aha. I guess those aren't fast travel points. Lame. I guess they are. I will check it out right now, Kayla. Is it a heavy weapon or a one-handed weapon? I assume that's a heavy weapon. Or is it one-handed? Ah. That's crazy. Are there any other weapons in this game that have crazy abilities like that? Oh, hey, I need to upgrade this. Done. Oh, it's still on cooldown, I guess. Huh. That reminds me. Seriously? Okay, but I can at least get some more health, right? Yep. Cool. Guess I'm gonna have to wait a little bit longer for that lock-picking abilities. Those lock-picking abilities, goodness. Okay. Okay, come on. What is happening? See, this is, that's probably the most that Odyssey feels like, Assassin's Creed is in the really clunky, running and climbing system. Because you latch onto things when you don't intend to, and do things you don't intend to do. But that's kind of, I say that jokingly, even though it's very true, that that's been a problem ever since Assassin's Creed existed. But Unity definitely has the best flowing parkour, I think. Like, once you get a grip on it, and once you get a momentum going, you definitely get the smoothest experience that the series has ever had. This will probably be my last mission.
Elise? Elise! Elise! Damn it. Where was it? L'Hôtel Voisin? Merde.
Okay.
Later.
What was that?
What are you... Please get off of me.
What's going on? Where is Monsieur Lafreniere?
It's not really a stepsister. He was never Delasaire's son, he was his ward.
No way past this one.
Shall we?
Come on. Come on. I'm so bad at the shooting in this game. Sometimes the combat can be really wonky.
Not sure how to get out again.
I'll climb up and take a look.
It depends on how you perceive the brother-sister kind of thing. Because, to my knowledge, was Arno technically adopted? I guess maybe he would have if he was Delasaire's ward. I don't know. Because there's stories like that all the time in fiction, where two people who were raised in the same foster home, were raised in the same family but with no biological connection, where they fall in love. So it's not weird to me because I've seen that kind of story before. And it's more of kind of a foster sibling relationship than it is a brother-sister relationship. To me, anyway.
How do we get out?
Didn't mean to do that one.
Where do we go?
I just used like 2 phantom blades that I didn't mean to use.
Where do we go?
Please stop, Elise. I'm looting. That was an unnecessary spin, Arno, but thank you.
Any bright ideas? Where do we
2 of them up ahead.
You take that one. I'll handle his friend.
Too many. We'll have to work together. Take them out quietly.
Getting a lot of money for these guys.
I think that was all.
That was pretty cool.
There's a bigger group coming up there.
Elise, you're really killing my stealth vibe here. Yep, that's... Yep. Elise.
Wait! Snipers.
Let me loot.
Perhaps you can get a better angle from the roof.
No, Titanic said there was another scene, but it didn't play, so I may have not been on a high enough difficulty or something, but I did beat it all on stream. Shouldn't have used that, should have used my pistol. Okay, these guys are annoying because that's when the combat starts to feel kind of wonky. Because they're... Yeah, whichever one was the man cries devil again. Whichever one that one was. Hey, Gulag. Maybe drop down, Arno.
Looks like the last of them.
Let's get out of here.
They can't have gone far. Find them!
Go on. I'll distract them. Trust me. Meet me tomorrow at Café Théâtre. I'll explain everything.
You're mad. I'll be there.
I may be a little late.
Okay. You. When the combat works, it feels and looks really cool. Yeah, I'm going to be extremely disappointed if they don't bring back arcade. Ah. These people are having a great time.
A letter arrived for you. I left it in your room.
Thank you. Alright. That was me for a while, Kaylin. I finally beat it. And it was okay. Could have been better. Could have been worse. Yeah, I eventually did beat it. I made the mistake of waiting for somebody else to actually beat it, and once that became very apparent that that was never going to happen, I just did it myself. Ballsy ending, but you've played New Dawn, so you know all about the ending. But that's going to do it for tonight's stream. I apologize for anyone who just showed up. But when I stream on off days that I normally wouldn't stream, I usually can't go too long. And I'm just trying to play it little by little. Not forcing in too long of play sessions, even though that it may come to that because of how long this game is. But I hope you guys are enjoying it. Feel free to leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe to us here. I will probably be streaming this again tomorrow night. Probably the same amount of time, honestly. So be sure to tune in for that. Not sure what we've got on the schedule for streams this week, but it's probably going to look pretty similar to how we usually do things. We didn't have podcast this week, but thank you, Kaylin. I strive to be adequate. But probably have a stream tomorrow night. We're talking about doing a team-up stream on Thursday night. The Division Raid is going to be happening again on Friday, as long as all of our people show up, so look forward to that. I know I'm not. And then I believe Jake is streaming on Friday, so yeah, sorry about that, Gulag. Maybe tomorrow. But thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.